Level 1, negative balance. The number on your screen has a minus sign in front of it. You stare at it like it's a joke you don't understand yet. It's not. You overdrafted by $7. $7. A lift charge from last Tuesday. You forgot it was still in the system. The bank doesn't care that you forgot. The bank cares about the violation. And the violation costs you $35. You read it twice. A $35 fee for $7. Your chest does something that isn't quite anger. It's worse. It's the feeling of a machine making a decision about you and having no way to argue back. Then your phone buzzes. Another charge hit. $18 for a gym membership you canceled 2 weeks ago, but they're still pulling from the wrong card. The system sees you're already in the red. It charges you another $35. Now you're at negative $90, and there's nothing you can do about it except watch the number get worse. You dial the bank. Hold music. Some jazz thing. It plays the same 8-bar loop. You count how many times. 7 times before, a voice that sounds like she's reading from a script tells you to try again during business hours. You try again at 9:15 a.m. on a Wednesday. Hold music 4 times through it, then a different voice, this one younger. She listens while you explain and then tells you that fees can't be reversed. It's in the terms of service. Would you like us to send you those terms again? You ask for a manager. She puts you on hold. You wait 30 minutes. Then the line goes dead. You call back. New voice. You explain again. She offers to move $50 from a savings account you didn't know you had. You take it. Your balance is still negative. The same night your rent payment tries to process and bounces, your landlord doesn't care why, $50 late fee. Then Verizon fails and hits you with $25. Then your car insurance. Your car insurance of all things, which is just sitting in your parking spot. You're at negative $165 now, spread across systems you didn't choose, for money you don't have, because of a $7 mistake. Friday, you skip eating lunch. You sit at your desk while your coworkers go to the taco truck. You say you already ate. You're thinking about whether you can pay your phone bill or buy groceries. You choose groceries, but skip the good ones. You buy the store brand, everything. The bread that goes hard in 2 days. Eggs, rice, peanut butter. You eat more rice than you have since college. Saturday morning, you go to the branch. You have no plan. You just walk in. The teller looks up and then looks at her screen. Her face doesn't move, but her eyes change. There's a micro expression, the kind that lasts maybe half a second, where you watch her decide something about you, not based on what you look like, based on what she sees on the screen. The account flag, the overdraft, the red numbers. She's not rude, that would be easier. She's just different, the same way you treat a door differently than you treat a person. Functional, brief. When you ask about the fees, she says those are policy. And when you say it doesn't seem fair, she says the terms are in your agreement. And when you ask if anything can be done, she says not on my end. And when you ask if there's anyone else, she says, not on a Saturday. You leave. Outside the branch, you stop walking for a second. You don't know why. You just feel something you can't name. You weren't told no. You were told there's no point asking. Level 2, $180. You pulled money from somewhere. Your parents, maybe. You don't want to think about where. For 2 weeks, you watched that balance like it was the only thing that mattered, because it was. You kept it above zero. You did it. Nobody celebrated. Nobody even knew. But the bank knew. The maintenance fee comes through on day 16, $12. Then there's some annual thing you didn't sign up for, $8. You read your statements now. You read everything. The minimum balance to waive fees is $1,500. You don't have $1,500. You'll never have $1,500 like that all at once in the bank. So you pay the fees. You're paying rent to a bank to hold the little money you have. You apply for a credit card because your alternator is dying and you need it to last 2 more months until you get paid enough to fix it. The bank offers you a secured card. You have to give them $300 of your own money. They'll hold it. Then they'll let you borrow $300 at 25% interest. You have to pay them to let you borrow your own money plus interest. You don't take it, which means when the alternator finally dies on a Tuesday in rush hour traffic, you can't buy a new one. You can't even take an Uber home because you've stopped using Lyft after the $7 incident. You take the bus. It takes an hour and 40 minutes. You get home at 8:30. Your manager texted at 7:15 asking where you were. You don't know what he thinks now. You're scared to check. A week later, there's another weird fee on your account, something called an inactivity fee, even though you use the account constantly. You go to the branch. The same teller is there. She's with a customer who's laughing, actually laughing, talking about how she's thinking about buying a lake house upstate. The teller is leaning forward, engaged, real interest on her face. When the customer leaves and you step up, that face goes away. It's replaced with something that looks like a face but isn't. It's the customer service version, the one where she's present but not there. She looks at your account and explains that you had no deposits for 34 days, so the inactivity fee kicked in. You explain that you definitely used the account. She checks. You did. You made purchases, but you didn't make a deposit. That's what inactivity means. The fee stays. It was policy. She processes your nothing request in 42 seconds, and then someone else is already walking up and she's smiling again, a real smile, at a man in a suit who's asking about opening a business account. You walk out of the branch and you understand something you didn't before. The bank doesn't hate you. It would be better if it did. If it hated you, it would at least see you. Instead, it looks at you and sees a data point, a monthly fee generator, a problem that needs to be moved through quickly so the next customer can be helped. You realize you don't exist to the bank. You exist on the bank's books. Level 3. $2,100. Something changed. Not in you, in how the system talks to you. Your job hired a temp-to-perm person and she's good, so they're bringing her on full-time. You pick up her shifts while they transition. You work 50 hours a week for 3 weeks straight. You bank just under $2,100 before taxes. Your direct deposit hits on a Tuesday, and for the first time in 8 months, your balance has a plus sign. The next Saturday you log in. The maintenance fee is gone. Completely gone. You check 3 times because you think you're reading it wrong. You're not. The system just waived it. You didn't call. You didn't ask. The algorithm looked at your account, saw a pattern, a real paycheck, recurring, predictable, and decided you weren't a fee generator anymore. You were a customer. So they stopped charging you. Not because you earned it, because you became profitable. The credit card offers start coming. Real ones this time. Pre-approved envelopes in the mail with your name printed on them. $2,200 limit. 21% APR. They're offering you rope. Actual rope, not the tiny piece they offered before. You apply for one. Approved instantly. The word instantly matters. No wait, no hold music, no callback that never comes. You get the physical card in 5 business days and you hold it like it's something. You don't use it, you just hold it. You go to the bank to ask about opening a savings account. The associate, not the same teller, someone different, someone with better posture, actually smiles when you walk up. Not a real smile, but not real either. Something in between. Professional warmth. She explains the savings options. She doesn't make you feel stupid. She doesn't make you feel smart either. She makes you feel like a normal person doing a normal thing. She approves you for a savings account in maybe 3 minutes and you leave with a new card and you feel something you can't quite name. You don't feel respected. You don't feel invisible. You feel available, like you became someone the system could work with. A month later, you apply for a small personal loan, $4,800. You need dental work. Your upper right molar is killing you. You've been dealing with it for 6 months by taking ibuprofen at night. Now it's infected. The dentist says it's a root canal or extraction. You need $4,800. The bank approves you in 48 hours at 11% interest. It's not good, but it's possible. The process worked exactly like the commercials promise it would. Apply, wait, get approved. Money in your account. You go to the dentist, you get the root canal. For a week, your mouth doesn't hurt, and you remember what baseline feels like. And you understand something that nobody tells you about banks. The bank doesn't care about you. The bank cares about your balance. At $2,100, your balance looks like something they can sell to. Not because you're worth anything, because you're profitable. You're not invisible anymore, but you're not respected either. You're just useful. Level 4, $17,200. You log in one morning and your credit limit jumped. It was $2,200. Now it's $10,000. You didn't ask for this. You didn't apply. The bank just decided to give you more rope. Same day you get a call. Not a text, not an email, an actual phone call from a person. Her name is Melissa. She says she's your relationship manager. She gives you a direct number and asks if you have 15 minutes to discuss your financial goals. You didn't know you had financial goals, but apparently you do. Melissa calls back the next day. She's cheerful in a way that feels earned instead of performed. She knows your name. She asks where you work. She asks about your income. She asks what you're saving for. She asks what scares you about money. The last one catches you off guard. You tell her about the molar. You tell her about the months of ibuprofen. You don't know why you tell her this. She listens like she actually wants to know. She offers you a personal loan at 6.8%, better than the 11% you're paying. You ask why it's better. She says because you're not a risk anymore, because your pattern is good, because the math says you pay your bills. The next loan you take, $6,200 for a used Honda Civic, comes through at 6.5%. The same dealer who quoted you 13% 2 years ago now tells you his bank is pulling you at prime plus 1.5%. You don't know what that means, but it sounds good. It is good. A small fee hits your account. Something about a transfer delay. You email Melissa. She responds in 90 minutes. She's reversed it. No forms, no hold music, no explanation except taken care of. You start getting emails with your first name in the subject line. Hey, your name. Check out these savings rates. They're personalized. They remember you applied for a car loan and they're showing you insurance options. They spell your name right. It's a small thing, but it lands different. It lands like they're paying attention. You realize something about Melissa. She was probably trained to do this, to remember details, to call instead of email, to ask about what scares you, but the training doesn't matter if it works. It works. You feel seen in a way you didn't before. Not seen as a person, seen as a customer. But that's already better. Level 5. $84,000. The word preferred starts showing up everywhere. On your statements, in your app, in Melissa's email signature. Preferred client. You didn't earn a title. The number earned it for you. Melissa is different now. She doesn't just call, she knows things. You mentioned once in passing that your sister lives in Denver. Now she asks how your sister is doing. She does this naturally. She does this like she genuinely cares, or like she's been trained so well that caring is irrelevant, the effect is the same. She calls on your birthday. Not automated. She calls. Happy birthday, she says. I know we don't usually chat on weekends, but I wanted to reach out personally. You believe that she wanted to? You're not even sure if that's true, but you believe it. Your mortgage pre-approval comes in the mail unsolicited. $420,000. The bank decided what you can afford before you even thought about buying a house. They're not asking if you want a mortgage. They're asking when. You walk into the branch for something routine and someone you've never seen before stands up. Not the teller, someone with an office. She guides you around the velvet rope, the one you didn't know existed until you were on the other side of it. There are people waiting in that rope line, 20 or 30 of them. You watch them, watch you walk past. You feel something, not guilt, closer to status. For the first time, the bank has made you feel ranked. A competitor bank calls. They want your business. They'll match Melissa's rates and beat them on a money market account. You mention it to Melissa because you don't actually want to leave, but you thought she should know. She calls you back within an hour with a counteroffer. Not just matching, better. The bank is competing to keep you. The institution that put you on hold for 30 minutes 2 years ago is now calling you back the fastest. You feel something you've never felt toward a bank. You feel wanted. Level 6. $540,000. You don't visit the branch anymore. The bank comes to you now. Melissa doesn't email anymore. Melissa calls. And when she calls, it's never casual. It's, I want you to meet my colleague Marcus. He handles wealth management. Can he come by your house Friday at 2? Marcus drives to your place. He brings a leather portfolio, the kind that costs money. Inside are reports printed on heavy paper, charts about your money, projections. He spends 2 hours asking about your life, like your life is data worth understanding. He asks about your timeline. He asks about your tax structure. He asks about your family, your goals, your fears. He asks if you've thought about estate planning. You haven't. He suggests you should. At the end, he doesn't try to sell you anything. He just leaves his card and says he'll send a follow-up email. The selling already happened. It happened while he was listening. It happened because he made you feel like your money mattered enough for 2 hours of his time. You call about a wire transfer that gets caught in some compliance hold. Someone answers on the first ring. No hold music, the person listens, the person fixes it. Same call. 2 years ago at $17,200 would have taken 4 hours and 3 transfers and a callback that never came. This time, it's 12 minutes. The bank hosts a private event. 12 clients. An economist from Goldman Sachs talking about emerging markets. Wine that costs more than you used to spend on groceries per month. Everyone in the room has money. Everyone in the room knows it. Nobody mentions money the whole night. Money is the table you're sitting at. It's the thing you all share, so nobody has to say it. You're not a customer at $540,000. You're an asset. The bank protects assets. Level 7, $5,100,000. They stopped calling it wealth management. Now it's private banking. The difference isn't semantic, it's fundamental. Private banking is a relationship. Relationships don't follow rules, they make them. Your banker is a woman named Jennifer. She manages 18 accounts. Yours is one of them. She knows your kids' names. She knows about the nonprofit you started because you mentioned it over lunch last spring. She knows you're thinking about buying investment property in Austin. The interest rate on your mortgage isn't listed anywhere. It's negotiated. Jennifer calls a person. That person calls another person. They come back with a number. It's lower than published rates because the relationship justifies it. The minimum on a private placement that normally requires $500,000 gets waived for you. You have $500,000, but you're in. The paperwork that takes regular clients 3 weeks to handle gets done in 72 hours because someone inside the institution was told whose account it is. You walk into a branch in a city you've never visited for banking, and they know your name before you finish introducing yourself. A manager you've never met stands up and says, "Jennifer mentioned you might be stopping by." The system has flagged you across every location, not because you're famous, because of position. You sit in a conference room that has no logo on the door. The table is solid walnut, one piece, probably costs $40,000. The deal being discussed is a private investment opportunity. It's not in any prospectus, it doesn't exist until you agree to participate. The room was built for clients like you. The room only opens when the math justifies it. When you walk in, the bank stops following the rules. It bends them. For you, Jennifer introduces you to 3 people inside the bank. Not peers, people whose job it is to worry about your account. They don't advertise this, but it's real. There are 3 people inside the bank whose annual review is partly about whether you stay happy. Level 8, $28 million. You don't have a banker anymore, you have a relationship. And the difference between those 2 words is everything. Everything is bespoke. Interest rates aren't offered. They're negotiated in a phone call. You don't apply for things at $28 million. Things apply for you. The chief investment officer asks for your opinion on emerging markets. The head of private banking flies out to ask what services the bank should offer the next tier of clients. You're shaping the institution. The same bank that charged you $38 for a $7 mistake is now asking you for strategic input. You're not a customer at $28 million. You're a partner. Somewhere else right now, someone has a minus sign in front of their balance. They overdrafted by $7. The fee hits within the hour, $35. They're staring at the screen feeling something that isn't anger. It's the feeling of not mattering. You're the same person at every balance. The bank just decides who you are based on the number next to your name. The bank doesn't change at every level. The bank reveals what it always was.